So the actual song intro, now this is obviously the most kind of famous part of this song, and it's the very start of the recorded version, and it's, if you know any of this song on the guitar, it's probably this that you know. It's basically, this intro sounds something like this. Alright, so that's the main intro of the song. Now, as I said, if you know some of this song already, you probably know this bit. So I'm going to go through relatively quickly how to play this, but it is kind of a real feel thing. So I'll kind of try and talk that through as well as I go. So, sliding from 9 to 11 on the 5th. Alright. And then 9 on the 3rd string. Now, that note is played by the bass in the chorus, but I'm obviously going through the version that I've played on my cover of it. So in that, I play that bass note. So thumb there on the 9th fret of the 6th string. Now what I do is I stab the chord, but I've brought on my little finger. I just do it because, just in case, if you do happen to hit that string, it sounds terrible. Alright, so that just gets rid of that kind of risk, I guess. It's not necessary if you can mute it out. It's still just as good, but you know, it's just a safety measure, I guess. So there we go. Now, this move, this time we're going to just use our 3rd and our 1st fingers. We're going to slide. So this is moving up 1 fret, and this is moving up 2. And then we're going to go, now I use my little finger, you can use your 3rd finger. So again. Now I pull off. So that. Alright. Now this little move here. It's actually the kind of challenging part of this chord is getting the bass note and that little bit. Now this little thing here, again, if you've taken some of my other lessons, you'll recognize this. Okay, so we're hammering on from 4 to 6 on the 3rd string, and we're leaving this on 5th fret of the 2nd string. So you can go, that would be the easiest thing to do. But what you want to try and do is get the bass note in there, because it sounds a lot nicer. Okay, and my best tip for doing that is to kind of bring your thumb over quite a bit so that these 2 strings, the 5th and the 4th string, get muted out. It's just easier if you have your thumb quite a bit far over, you know. So we have, and thumb over. Now you can pull off. Now this is essentially a full C-shaped chord for the E. That's an E chord. But again, if you know my caged lesson, you'll see that that's basically the C shape, right? And because it's E, it makes it quite nice because we can play that open E string. So E is one of the nicest chords to play in that C, is that C shape. Obviously apart from, or maybe actually probably better than C in my opinion, because you get the full 6 strings in there. Alright, so that's our E. So we go, slide up. Alright, and then we go, so what we do is we slide up on the 4th string. Alright, slide up to 11. And then we're on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Alright. So same thing again, we slide up and we hit the bass note there with our thumb. Okay, and then we play our stab our chord again. Now you can just go, you could just go, again, just mute out that string, the 5th string so you don't hear it, or you can bring on both these fingers, whichever one you choose. I mean, it's just really whatever you feel comfortable with. It's certainly not that. But basically, yeah, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. It kind of is just such an insignificant. You have to get the kind of the stab, because you hear that reverb ringing out there. That sounds really nice. And sometimes he actually just goes, and you just stab it. Well, I used to call that a chuck when I started teaching guitar lessons. You just use your side of your palm there, and you go down, and you pick like that. So, all right. And the next little bit, same again. That same exact thing as the first time around. Now this slightly changes. So again, we're based around our C shape here. But what we're doing is, by the way, if you hear me talking about shapes and stuff like that, go check out my cage lesson if you haven't. You'll be able to get that by signing up to my mailing list on the website jamieharrisonguitar.com. Just don't want to confuse you with what I'm talking about when I talk about these C shapes and things like that. So go check that out if you're if I'm causing any confusion to you. But anyway, so yeah, we're based around that C shape. So we land there, and then we go. So off, and little finger there onto the 7th, and then back up again, and then play the chord. Okay, so again, so we're going hammer on. Okay, now there's one thing in here that you might have spotted that I'm not doing that sounds really nice. I took a while kind of figuring this out, what this was. I knew I didn't sound like it. It didn't sound, what I was playing didn't sound like it, but basically what it is it goes, and then you pick again, and you pull off. I thought it was at the hammer on, but then once I listened to quite a few times, it just goes, it's just you play it again, and you pull off. So instead of going, it kind of spices up a little bit when you go. You see the difference? Alright, so that's the main intro, and then we're going to get into this kind of high stuff, which the second guitar actually does in this song, but again, we're covering my version, so we're going to get into that in the next video, so we'll see you there.